This channel is all about learning new skills, and I've recently met Stephen, another creator that makes the same type of content. And well, he challenged me to learn how to slackline. And obviously, I accepted. I found a beautiful place in the middle of the forest, and I started setting up the slackline. Doing that is pretty easy, and there are a lot of tutorials out there. Just make sure to put a towel between the slackline and the trunk to protect the bark of the tree. And when the slackline is tight, we are ready to go. So we start by keeping one foot on the ground and one on the line, trying to evenly distribute the weight between both feet. In the beginning, the slackline will shake a little bit, but once you get up with both feet, it will stop. And then you can simply start walking, in theory. Because the reality is that I couldn't even take the first step. To understand how the slackline works, we need to know about a center of mass. A center of gravity, or mass, is the point at which all the weight of an object is condensed, and all the sides are in balance. Every single object has a center of mass. Even humans have it. And from here, you can also understand how we can maintain balance while standing still. As long as our center of mass is inside the area of support created by our feet, it is literally impossible to fall. But as soon as the center of mass gets over this area, we lose balance. And on a slackline, the area of support reduces to basically a line. So our goal is to keep maintaining balance by keeping our center of gravity on this imaginary line, which keeps moving, by the way. Anyways, I was slowly getting better, but I was still far from being confident on the line. Then, instead of looking down at my feet, I tried focusing on the portion of the line in front of me, and I could finally walk the entire length of the line pretty consistently. I was also learning how to keep balance with one foot, which is really important for every time you take a step forward. So I decided to increase its length. The longer the slackline, the harder it will be to keep the balance on it. So I tried for a while and I felt that I was getting a little bit better, but I've never achieved good results. Really, the most difficult moment when you walk on a slackline is when you are in the middle of it. There, the line is really unstable and it is really hard to maintain the balance. And then, this happened. From now on, this will be my personal definition of pain. I'm not gonna have kids anymore. Anyways, after that, I kept practicing and I felt that I was improving a lot. But I was also really starting to get tired, so I decided to quit for the day. And the next day, I started trying again. Today I feel great, and my head is in a really good place. Yesterday evening I watched another tutorial, and there are a few things that I need to change. I have to take my arms above my head, bending my knees a little bit, while keep looking at the end of the line. But even if I knew the theory, it was really difficult to put it into practice. When you're on the line and it gets shaky, your instinct will probably tell you to bend your body in many different weird ways. Walking on the slackline is a constant fight between your instinct and your rationality. You know what you have to do, but you need to learn how to do it. Yes! Let's go! And obviously, as always, not giving up. After a while, I realized something else. I was trying to reach the other end of the line as fast as I could, but instead, it's quite the opposite. It's really all about being gentle and control your movement. This way the line will be much more stable, and the more you practice, the more you get better. By the way, to avoid what happened to me before, it's simply necessary to set up the line a little bit lower. This way, if you miss the line while taking a step forward, you land on your feet and not on your... I practiced for about 3 hours, and I was constantly able to increase the distance I was able to cover on the line. But after a while, I got a bit frustrated. But then, I reached a huge level of concentration. I wasn't taking breaks or speaking anymore. There was just me and the line. And after a while, I've been finally able to get it. To do that, I started putting my feet in line with the slackline. This is much better to keep your center of gravity into the line of support. And also, I started looking at a specific point on the trunk in front of me. This allowed me to stay more straight with my back. The first success built up confidence in me. And while improving my technique, I was able to reach the other end of the line pretty consistently. And I said consistently. Not always. Walking on a slackline is a great skill. It is fun and it is a good training for your body and your mind. And also I was thinking for the future, it would be really interesting to learn how to do some tricks on it. I'll post updates and refine you and upload on Instagram. If you're interested, follow me there. Thank you very much for your great support. And as always, I'll see you next week with a new skill. See you.